In this video, we are going to go over topic 2.2 point slope form study guide. So the first few slides are matching. So what I recommend you do is put the graphs, because that's kind of going to be like the heading. It's what we're going to look at kind of to the sides. So I see 7, 4. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on the graph and I'm going to go to 7, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 7, 4 is actually on this graph. So I'm going to click it with it. Now for this equation, I know my ordered pair is -8, -1. So I'm going to see if -8, 1. No, it's not. So I'm going to see if it's on this graph. Here's -5, 6, 7, 8, and then -1. So this equation actually represents that graph. And you're just going to do that for all of these pieces. So 2, 4, let's see if 2, 4 is on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is. And then this ordered pair from this would be a +7, +4. So it would be right on that graph. So I got to move it over here. And it doesn't matter the order as long as they're together. So 5, -2, I just looked on that graph, it's located there. -8, -1 is a part of this graph. 2, 4, we've already decided. And you can also check the slope, up 1, right 2. So both are correct. And then let's make sure 5, -2 is on there, which we've already found that point. Now the second matching, that is going to be a little harder because they actually have the same slope. So you want to kind of do the ordered pairs first. So 2, -2. Go right 2, down 2. Yes, this point is on the line. What about -1, -3? 1, 2, 3. No, it's not. So let's check this line. -1, -3 is actually on this graph. 6, 1 is for that graph. 3, 0. And you'll get better at this as time goes on. So 6, 1, we already decided was on my left. So I have x -7 in parentheses. So my x coordinate of the ordered pair is 7, and then y -3 in the beginning, so that's 3. So is 7, 3 on the graph? Yes, it is. How about -2, -5? -2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Almost. How about here? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one works. And then -1, -3, which we already said was this one. Now for this part, remember what you just got done with matching. It's the opposite of what you see. And then I see a -3, so it's a positive, and then my slope is just 2. So let's make sure that the coding is correct. You do have to use parentheses for this. All right. Same thing with here. I see a -9, so it's really a +9, and I see a +7. And then the slope is 1/6. Here, the point given, you got to make sure that you identify that. So that's 3, -2. The slope, I still highly recommend you picking another ordered pair. and just doing the slope formula. So negative 2 minus 3 over 3 minus 0. And you get negative 5 over 3. And you put it all together. So it's y plus 2, because minus a negative is positive, equals negative 5 over 3. Don't forget the parentheses, x. And then since I see a positive 3, I have to write a minus 3. All right, the ordered pair is negative 1 comma negative 4. Have to find another ordered pair. I'll do 0, negative 2. And you can choose any ordered pair you want. So then I would get negative 2 over negative 1, which your calculator would automatically simplify as 2. Now I see a minus 4, so I'm going to write a plus 4. Then it's m parentheses x. I see a minus 1, so I'm going to write a plus 1 because minus a negative is positive. So this ordered pair that I see is 3 comma 5. Now if you choose to do rise over run, that's fine. Pick a point at the corner, go 1, 2, 3, 4 levels, 1, 2, 3 to the right. So up 4, right 3 is 4 over 3. I do not use that method a lot because I see the most errors with that. So just be mindful of that. So then I'm going to put it all together. Same thing with here. I see a point 1. Don't forget the comma, negative 3. And this is a very steep slope. So I just see an ordered pair of 0 comma 5. So this is actually negative 8 over 1, which the coding I just wrote was negative 8. And then we put it into point slope form. Minus a negative is really a positive 3. And there we go. All right, so slide 11 is a repeat, so I will fix that. Now, here I'm going to ask you to graph. So negative 4 comma 2 is right here. And then the slope is rise over run. So rise 1, 1, 2, 3 to the right. Rise 1, 1, 2, 3 to the right. And you're going to keep going. Ran out of room. Use the line tool to guide you. Do the best that you can. Now, some students said, I'm not sure if my graph is correct. So I worked on some coding. And if you make this an equation, and you know that you are right, if you go to the next slide, I'm going to copy. This is your graph that you just graphed. And we're just going to copy and paste the equation. And let's see if it matches. And it does. It's just my line is just a tad bit off. Actually, I can notice now that this point I actually plotted incorrectly. I only went over 2. So that's awesome that it caught that. So 1, 2, 3. So then that would make my line angled more that way. So it's a great self-check. All right, y minus 3 equals 2 parentheses x minus 5, in negative 2. So then I'm going to plot. Now when we put the equation in, we know we are correct, but do not forget to plot. So 5 comma 3 is right 5 and then up 3, put a point. Now the slope is negative 2, 1, negative 2, 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. When you run out of room, you can do the opposite. Now tomorrow on the test, you are going to make sure that you connect the points. Do the best you can. And then you're going to need this equation in the next slide, slide 15, to verify that you did it correctly. And then the red line goes through my gray line, and we know we did. Now for the next graph, we're going to go left 4 and then down 7. Put a point, and then the slope is down to right 3, up to left 3. Connect it. And then my equation is y plus 7 equals negative 2 over 3, and x plus 4. Once again, copy and paste this equation. Make sure that it goes through, and it does. Upload your work if you did any. And then these next slides are for what we're going to do after. We are going to learn the third and final form, which is standard form. So if you watch the video, what my cursor is going over right now, this is called standard form. It's ax plus by equals c. It's when x and y are on the same side. A, b, and c are just numbers. Now to find the x-intercept, you're going to set y equal to 0. Negative 3 times 0 goes away, and then you're left with a 1 step. So then you can divide by 2, and then that's how you get x equals 6. Now to find the y-intercept, you're going to set the x equal to 0. 2 times 0 goes away, and then we're once again left with a 1 step. So these are two different answers for this problem. Now, slide 21, you need to order the list correctly. When you do, a fire icon will appear. So the most important thing for the x-intercept is always start with the original problem. And then make sure that you know the next step is set y equal to 0. So when we have y equal to 0, it's going to look like this. 2 times 0 goes away. We're left with 5x. And to undo multiplying, we divide. Now, some of you say that x equals 4. That's the answer, but you want to put it in the ordered pair, 4 comma 0. Same thing with this problem. You want to start with the original, but to find the y-intercept, you got to do the opposite. You got to set x equal to 0. 5 times 0 goes away, so then we are actually just left with 2y equals 20. Divide everything by 2. We're going to get y equals 10, and then it's 0 comma 10. So same type of problem, just getting you used to it. We want to start with the original, set it equal to 0. Once you set it equal to 0, it just becomes a 1 step. We have 5x equals 45. Divide everything by 5. We're going to get x equals 9. And then we put it into the ordered pair 9 comma 0. All right, same thing. Start with the original problem. But for the y-intercept, we're going to get x equals 0. When you multiply by 0, it becomes a 1 step. You have to divide everything by negative 3. And then that's the answer. Now in the last two, I'm just asking you to show your work. So we're going to plug in 0. We're going to create a 1 step. We have to undo multiplying by dividing. So remember, the answer is not x equals negative 15. We have to write it as an ordered pair. So it's going to be negative 15 comma 0. And then you're going to do the same thing, but for the y-intercept. So we're going to let x be 0 this time. Negative 2 times 0 goes away, and we're left with 1 step here. Divide everything by 6. But this, you got to be careful. Your 0 goes first now. So then it's 0, 5.